What's up, everybody? My name is Justin, and this is my 2001 solid axle swap Nissan Xterra project. Thought I would share a little bit about it. I made a video about it a couple of years back when I just had poor man lift and a couple other things done to it, and since then, this, like every other project I've had, well, it snowballed quite a bit. So why don't I show you around it? All right, so here she is. Like I said, she's a 2001 Nissan Xterra that I have named Bella. And she's been a great little rig, learner rig. Over last summer is kind of what triggered the whole solid axle swap. I was off-roading on a trail and blew the rear end. And at the time, I had just picked up some tube doors on Facebook Marketplace from a guy who had a bunch of solid axle stuff, including a solid axle for the rear with a locker already set up for it. And I ended up just biting the bullet because I knew I'd have to be swapping the whole rear end out anyway. I was just like, screw it, we'll do the front. Yeah, not my brightest moment. But here she be. So I paid about $2,000 for all the stuff used. And I've since swapped a little bit of it out to work better for my setup. But basically what I bought with everything was that rear axle, the Jeep Wagoneer front axle, the front drive shaft. It had another drive shaft that came with it as well, but it was set up for a transfer case with a slip yoke eliminator, and that transfer case has built gears and stuff, and I've been toying with the idea of buying that off the guy for a while now, but I don't have the money to buy it right now. So this is what we got. It also came with the steering and most of this Cal Mini stuff. However, this kit has been modified for 12-inch coilover. The coilovers are new. I got these after I had the other ones. The other ones were old Ranchos and they didn't ride all that great. Also, when I first put this axle on, I had the C's kind of maxed out and caster was still at 0. So I ended up taking this front axle out to DNC Extreme out in Colorado Springs, which is about 2 hours away from me, and had them cut and turn the C's. It then drove a little bit better, but when I put it back in, I was trying to align the track bar, made a rookie mistake, and blew one of the old coilovers that were on it. So that's what prompted these. Everything else is still drivetrain wise, we're pretty much stock, aside from the gear. So it's 513 gears front and rear, and it does pretty good on the trail. I haven't taken it on many trails yet because I'm still kind of ironing things out on it, as you do with most solid axle stuff with these cars. And I will say this, I was a complete noob when I started this. I knew what the general idea of solid axling an Xterra meant. However, I didn't realize quite how much that was actually going to be a big project, I guess. So I'll continue talking about the solid axle stuff, but first, this is kind of the setup I've had in it for some time. I made this bed frame setup out of some 2x4 and some rough cut fence board, and this piece folds up so you can kind of get in and access stuff. I've got my like trail kind of recovery kit and just safety items to have with me on the trail, like an axe and just some camping supplies and stuff. Over here I've got replacement, I had replacement tie rod arms in this when I was IFS, and you know, if you're an IFS Xterra wheeler, you would understand that. But now in it, I just keep some spare tools and some random like fuses and stuff like that. Other than that, interior is still pretty much mainly stock. This piece folds up, so when you're actually laying in the bed, you fold these two front seats forward a little bit, prop this up. There's a little channel for some 1x1 to go in and hold that up. The rest of the inside is just pretty much plain. Got my Realtree steering wheel cover because you know how it is out here in the country. And other than that, just got my pistol mount so that I can keep that handy whenever I am camping out in the woods, because you never know when a bear's going to run up on you, or anything else for that matter. Under the hood here, nothing too special. I had some knockoff Doug Thornley headers, but they never really sealed, so I went back to stock exhaust. But up here, I've got this kind of amalgamation of an intake to make this snorkel work and make it fully sealed, because if anyone's ever done a snorkel mount on one of these, it's kind of a pain, especially with just like regular flexible tubing, because you don't really have all that much room to channel stuff. So this is the rubber tube that came with the snorkel. This snorkel's for a Navara, and I bought it off eBay for pretty cheap. And then that piece funnels through, goes into this silicone piece, and then I've got this K&N Apollo filter, and then just got some fittings to make it work. This is actually a stock mass airflow sensor. I just cut both ends off of it to make it work. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it does. It works. It's not the most pretty, but function over form, I guess. Other than that, down here, as you can see, there's a hole there. ABS module's been deleted since I'm solid axle now, and the sourced axle is, you know, pretty dated. It's a 87, so no ABS on that motherfucker. But yeah, so this is what I had to do to accommodate the extended shock hoops for the 12-inch coilovers. I didn't want a body lift because, as you can see, this thing's already pretty dang tall. I mean, it's sitting on 35s, and 35s look kind of small on it. I'm planning on probably putting 37s on it here sometime, but I don't have the money. As I'm learning with off-roading, it just gets more and more pricey the more you want perfect. But yeah, so everything up front, like I said earlier, it's got 513 gears. This is 1-ton steering, and it works all right, but I am really just hoping to swap it out to be high steer stuff, just because there's a lot of slop. As you can see here, I can kind of twist this arm. Not a whole lot. It's tightened up, but down here, this joint's pretty bad, and it's a fresh joint. So I kind of want to just get some of the slop out there. So I want to put a high steer kit in with Heim joints. And that's another thing I got going on. This how many bar it's used. So I can twist that too. And it makes for some nice clunking when I get moving off the line. But yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much how the front is set up. Still the same cow mini radius arms. And yeah, everything else is pretty much just kind of set up basis of the regular 10-inch coilover cow mini kit, but the shock hoops are extended for those coils. And then moving on to the rear, it's set up right now spring over axle, and I actually swapped these springs out to be three leafs and then that leaf, because the prior set I had was only 2 leafs and then that leaf, and this thing was not fun without the sways and having really soft suspension back here. It was very complicated to drive because it was so wallowy. But yeah, other than that, Rancho RS 5000s are in the back, and they're just kind of a temporary solution. As you can see, they're kind of compressed. I've got like maybe 5 inches of travel between both of those shocks, so either new shock mounts are in order or different, just shorter shocks. As I'm working on this, I just keep finding new hurdles, and I got to figure it all out. And as someone who's never really done this before, I'm just kind of doing a lot of research and playing around with stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's how she sits currently. It's a pretty solid rig. I've got my recovery boards up here I'll include some little B-roll footage of it off-roading too. Like I said, I haven't really hit anything significant yet since the solid axle swap, just because I'm still kind of ironing things out. But it has been pretty good recently. I just got the dual rate spring set up properly. So we've got the thicker 300 rate spring on the bottom and then the 200 at the top. I still think I might need to put heavier duty springs on it, just because I am planning on swapping out this Smitty built 76721 bumper. This is another upgrade I did a while back, and it's just a Jeep TJ bumper that a lot of people on the forums were making just kind of fit on the front of an Xterra, and it's just sitting on angle iron that's welded in. Welds aren't perfect. I'm not a pro welder. I don't claim to be. But it's held up pretty good for a couple of years. I've been able to pull some people out when I have my shackles hooked up to this, but I keep them out most of the time because honestly, I drove myself crazy thinking I had suspension rattle up front every time I was on the trail for a couple of months, just because I had shackles in. So I took them out just so that I don't, make my ADHD brain freak out. There we go. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we've got the Maxi Track vehicle awning. This nice little puppy got from Napa Auto Parts, and I think I paid like $150 for it, and it's been a really solid awning. I actually haven't used it since I've solid axle swapped it, just because it's been mostly over the winter that I've been sorting things out. So it's like 60 degrees today, but I really haven't had a chance to properly go camping with it yet and set up the awning. So I don't know if it's gonna sag a bunch now that the thing is like sky high, but you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, so there's the solid axle Xterra. Just thought I'd share with everyone. It's been a very long time since I posted anything on my YouTube. And I am planning on kind of sharing a little bit more of the new projects these days and stuff, now that I got a little bit more time on my hands. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Another thing I'll share in this video is a little update on the Del Sol. As you can see, I got my welder out here. I've been doing a lot of seam and stitch welding to fill up the frame. Don't judge the flux over there. I know it's bad. I'm gonna fix it. But yeah, doing little plugs like this and like that. And the goal is to do a full shaved bay and match it to the paint on the outside of the car. However, I'm gonna have a little bit more pearlescent, and then I will eventually make the outside of the car look as good as the engine bay will when I'm done with it. You can see a K-Series head sitting over there, and I've got another K-Series under there, and a K20 transmission. So goal on this car now that it's sat for years and years and years and years. Don't judge me, I know. It's bad, I know. But yeah, this has sat for a long time, and now I'm trying to actually do something about it. But with that became this project, because this happened right when this was starting to be the full K-swap. And then I focused most of my time, money, and effort into that so that I could have that again. Because the Civic over here, this 9th gen, that's my new daily. And I say new because it's new to you guys. It's not really new to me at this point. I've had it for about 2 years. But it's been a great car, and that's eventually going to be a daily that hits the track, I want to do a couple more upgrades to it before I actually take it to like road courses and stuff. But it's a great little mountain toge car, and especially with the upgraded Brembos that I have up there, but that'll be another video. But yeah, so this project has been on the back burner. It always gets that treatment, and I'm trying to change that. But at the same time, I also want to do it right and not cut any corners, so I'm just taking my time with it. But yeah, the goal is to finish up the engine bay here in the next couple of months. Most of the welding's almost done. I've just got a couple more patch panels to do. And yeah, then once that's all done, then I'll be doing all the filler and just kind of sanding and finishing of this bay to make it look proper. Excuse me, got a burp. And then this other nice Eclipse over here, that's my lady's project. It's a 97 Eclipse GST Spider, and we actually just finished up putting a competition stage 2 clutch in here, and my god, dude, you Eclipse guys goes through a lot. There's a lot of random stuff on this car that is just not how it is for something like that. You can just drop a clutch in that and it's a day, dude. But with this, it's like, oh, you're shimming and you're making sure the step height's correct, and you're also sitting under a car with a transmission about to fall on your head wondering, how'd you get here in the first place? But you know what? This thing sounds cool under boost, and it scoots. So I don't think she made a bad choice. Other than that, I've got more crazy projects because I am an ADHD-brained lunatic. But here's my 07 Honda VFR 800. It's a bike with VTEC. That's why the plate's called VTEC. But yeah, great bike, very fun, V4 with VTEC, and it's a great bike. And then back there, we got the mini bike. The mini bike is another project I've been working on. It's kind of like a little trail bike that I take out with my buddy on his super small dirt bike, and we just have fun in the mountains. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers all of it. So yeah, I just thought I'd share all that and kind of give an update to where things are at. And as for kind of future video stuff, I don't really know where this channel is going to go in that direction, but we'll just kind of ride it out and see what goes on.